Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen once again, and again as usual we make simple dishes here, so thank you for coming. If you're new here, don't forget to give me the thumbs up of course, and also check out my other videos. My YouTube channel is Cooking with Ronald. Today we're making again cabbage. Typically people ask how do you make cabbage, how do you cook it, stuff like that. People are used to making like maybe a coleslaw and stuff like that. I'm not making coleslaw today, but I am showing you how to cook a cabbage. Alright, my way. Hey, you do it the way you feel like. I'm gonna show you the easy way and also healthier way of doing it. Alright, let's jump to it. If you guys can notice in the clip above, right, my wife and I, we have a garden we began, and basically we just had some cabbages, and as you can see, we got those cabbages from our garden, and we're just going to basically use those. There's so many different ways of actually cutting your cabbage. I'm gonna show you two ways. Typically you can use a machine like this, or you can just use a knife. So let me show you the manual way of doing it or use the machine. So basically, typically if you're using a machine like this, you're most likely to get your settings right, whether you want to push this up to get those cutting teeth up, or you just want to just level up here and make this a bit how chunky you want them. So you adjust basically based on how chunky you want them, whether this hole is bigger or smaller. So mine is gonna be slightly step number one, I'm just going to cut this in half like that. I mean, if you want, you can cut them into another, half like that if you want to, but you don't have to. But this time we'll do it. Next, so we have our machine here. All you have to do is to hold your cabbage a certain way. Make sure your fingers are not too close to it. So here I'll just do that. Depending on the sizes, you watch for your hands. Very, very important. You still want your hands, I believe. So what I will do is that until the whole thing is done. I mean, this process is really fast, really easy to use. I mean, I recommend you buying something like this for yourself. You know what I mean? I mean, if you can. As you can see, the results are pretty fine. Actually, this you can use right now because it's so fine. You can use it definitely for like a coleslaw or whatever, or a simple salad you're making here, and I'm gonna show you two ways of that. Okay, so another way is by hand. If you're doing it by hand, all you have to do is hold your knife a certain way, big or small knife, it doesn't matter. Just make sure your knife cuts properly, and you're just going to hold with one hand, and the other hand just use your finger to guide the knife. You're basically getting the same sizes, but all you have to do is making sure you're guiding your finger like that. As you can see, look at that. It's actually pretty easy if you think about it, and if you're committed to a specific size that you want to cut, you can actually keep going like that. So as you can see, these are the ones that I cut with the machine, but as you can see here, it's not too much different really, as you can see between those sizes. So yeah, slightly smaller here, slightly bigger here, just ever so slightly, because you're doing it manually, but you can also still do it by hand if you prefer to. So you don't have necessarily to buy a machine. That's my whole point here. I'm going to slice up an onion right now, and because I want to go with cabbage, I want to get some flavor. So here you don't necessarily have to chop it up completely because you're already making the cabbage. Your cabbage is kind of lengthwise anyways like that, so you can actually slice your onion as well that way. So again, slice this as fine as I can, and when you make your cabbage, you will not tell a difference between the onion or your cabbage. So look at that. So here they will break up completely, and they will be mashed all the way like that. And for the word of the day today, it's actually pretty easy. I'm just going to go with what we have here, which is cabbage. How do we say cabbage in my language? You might laugh about this, but actually it doesn't change much. So cabbage, when you're in my language, just like they will say my name they don't say Ronald. Like someone says it here, we say Ronaldi. So cabbage, we'll say cabbage. If someone said that's a cabbage, ayo cabbage. So it's time to cook now. So let me show you the simple ways of doing it. First, I'll put in a bit of oil, not too much really. this point you want to turn down the heat a little bit. I know it looks like a lot, but as you know, cabbage shrinks, so everything is going to shrink right down, and it's going to be half basically. And to make the process easier, you can actually cover this for a few seconds so that steam can actually cook it. I'm going to add in some carrots for color. So as you can see, that steam, it's basically making it shrink down and cook really fast. Also, I'm going to add in a bit of carrots for color, as I say. Putting a bit of parsley here, of course, will give it some color. Roasted garlic pepper in here, Italian as well. Basically, that is as simple as that. I'm just gonna put in some salt. As you can see, it's all colorful with all the ingredients you've put in, the spices you've put in there as well. It makes it look really amazing. It's very vibrant because of the colors, you know, between the green as well as the light green of the cabbage, the dark green from the parsley, and also of course the yellow which you have, or yellow or the orange you have from your carrots. And believe me, right now it's actually done. It's this easy. I wouldn't cook it beyond this because I like mine with a bit of crunch, and it's actually much better that way. So basically this is it. Okay, so I want to share another version of this as well, because right now we're going to do is basically get this. You can, the way it's cut like that, you don't necessarily have to cook it the way I've cooked it. The easiest way to do this, it's basically to either season it the way it is right now and just eat it. So when you decide to eat it raw, you can do it so many different ways. You can buy a simple dressing like any other dressing that you use typically, and just use them like, you know, like when you make a coleslaw or whatever you're doing. Or you can decide and say, you know what, no, I'm just going to make my own dressing. So I'm not gonna show you the dressing today, but if you want to make a simple dressing, just do like a vinaigrette or whatever, something like that. For instance, you have some balsamic vinegar in there, you have a bit of olive oil, you have a bit of salt, you have a bit of lemon or lime, and put that together and just season it up a little bit with salt and pepper and stuff like that, and that's it. Instead of making a dressing, I'm just gonna get, I bought here, it's called oil and vinegar. It's what I'm gonna mix it up with here. So all I will do here, basically the same way I did the other way, I'll just put in a bit of dressing in here, and I'll just toss this here. Just of course put in enough dressing, whatever dressing you prefer. You don't have to say do it as a coleslaw, because people do it as a coleslaw, it becomes heavier. I actually don't like coleslaws because I find to be a bit too heavy for me. I always like the light dressings. For instance, my favorite dressing will be balsamic. Even when I buy it out there, it's gonna be like that. Now look at that glittery look we have on there without even adding anything else. This is just cabbage. If you want, you can always add in color. And for instance, I can say, you know what, oh, I have some parsley here, I'll add in a bit of parsley on there. See, it will give it color if you want to, like that. Or if carrots, I could probably just add a bit of carrots in there. So let me try this actually. That's really good. I can't stop. Honestly, all you have to do is just go buy yourself a simple dressing. Any dressing that you prefer. As I said, it doesn't matter, creamy or not creamy, or just a vinaigrette kind of salt dressing. Just buy it, because see, now this is all about doing things a bit easier, not to make things over complicated. As you can see, it's all done, and all those colors in there, they're all looking vibrant, and it looks really nice. It smells great. And with this, honestly, you can have it with whatever you want. Whether you're having it with a barbecue chicken, have it with, I don't know, a side of any sort. Now, I want to try this right now. It's hot. That's so good. Listen, if you think about eating healthy, this is one of the ways you can do it, honestly speaking, because imagine I put a bit of oil in here, cabbage, veggies basically. What else did I put in? Nothing. That's it. So, oh my god. That is awesome. Amazing. At this point in time, guys, if you like the tips that I've just shown you right now, Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also give me a thumbs up. And also, of course, check out the other videos you might be seeing at the end of this video. And let me know what other things you want to know from me or word of the day. In the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm sorry to be you. Bye guys.